taking a ride, Archie. Rolling up a steak and going to Vegas.
The #1 poker internet show is now on the radio. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to talk poker news, entertainment, and have lots of Sin City surprises. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free. 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now, let's bring on the hosts going all in. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good afternoon, Las Vegas. Oh boy, here we go again. Wow, this is going to be... I don't know. Sassy over there, this has just been a crazy week for poker.
Big time, big time.
And we're going to hammer it all out here. We're going to settle the issues once and for all. We're still waiting for Marco to show up, but we've got Sassy Richie over here joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show.
Hello. Thank you for having me on, Mark.
Hopefully Marco will be here soon. And our featured guest today needs no introduction in the poker world. Period. End of story. He is the king of poker television, just bringing you the greatest entertainment shows you're ever going to see. Maury Escandani joining us. Maury, how are you today?
Thank you so much. This is the first time I meet the feature table, I think.
Oh, come on, Maury. Come on. Oh, man. Well, so we're going to be talking to Maury about poker television, where everything's going right now, and, of course, some media things happening, so we're going to be able to get his expert input on this as well. So should be a interesting show, to say the least. Of course, the Mark Hoke Show is powered by BlueRail.net and brought to you by PokerAtlas.com, where, of course, you can get all the info you need on tournaments across North America, plus poker room reviews and much more at PokerAtlas.com. And, of course, also brought to you by Blind Squirrel Apparel, Team Poker Joker, Arctic Blue Cooling Towels, Double Digit Covers, and RogueWire.com. All right, let's get right to the news. We're not even messing around, so it's time to get to the read.
Scanning the poker tables from around the world. This is The Read, brought to you by PokerNews.com.
A couple of big stories going on out there right now. Of course, one, we have to make sure we talk about the PCA. Of course, main event finishing up down there. Also had a big old $25,000 high roller tournament. That's always some quality entertainment. One of the crown jewels of live poker now is that PCA. And we have first the $25,000 high roller champion was Jake Schindler, who knocked off Greg Merson and Vanessa Selps. Nobody could decide whether they wanted to win this tournament or not. The chips were just flying all over the place. Vanessa took the lead, Greg took the lead, and all of a sudden Jake did the old beetle bomb and came from behind and pulled this out. So Jake Schindler is picking up $1.19 million.
Nice payday
For his victory. Greg Merson didn't do too bad either with $948,000. Vanessa Selps picking up $607,000 for her efforts. So a wild one down there, the PCA $25,000 high roller. We also have a new main event champion. That is Dominic Panka winning the PCA main event. He denies Timex Mike McDonald, who was going for his second championship at the PCA of the main event. And Dominic Panka comes from behind and takes out Mike McDonald. Isaac Barron finishing third. Matisse Moore from Estonia picking up $581,000. He finished fourth. But a big win for Dominic, $1.4 million. God, that would be nice. More, you got that in your back pocket right now, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Actually, it's in my car. I got to go get it.
Well, just be careful. Don't go down to the AVN show.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Is it that week in Vegas?
It is that week in Vegas.
Good times.
So
The Sex and Money gang on before us. Yeah, they had a few people from the AVN convention coming down here. Ron Jeremy hanging out.
Really? I miss Ron Jeremy? Dang.
How can you miss Ron Jeremy? It's impossible. I actually met Ron Jeremy at a convention a long time ago.
You?
I kept my distance. You got to be careful around Ron. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so some great news coming out of there, and let's get to some rough news. Of course, the people outside of poker probably haven't heard this story, but internally, it has been quite the discussion as Jay Newnham, otherwise known as Who Jedi, one of between him and BJ Nemeth, the two best photographers, most popular photographers out there on the circuit, and wow, this was just crazy how this started over the middle of last week, where a Facebook post from the assistant union director at Foxwoods put up a post that Jay had been banned from Foxwoods, that some money had been stolen, and just, there was an ongoing investigation about a couple of the dates, and, it just kind of got a little crazy. Well, all of a sudden, nobody really pushed this story too hard, and the Poker Forum 2+2, which is legendary for having some people maybe not saying some things that are too nice, along with some outspoken players like Alan Kessler, started tearing the poker community apart for not jumping on the story. Of course, the issues at hand were Foxwoods, no comment. Jay Newnham, no comment. The gentleman that made the Facebook post, no comment. No public records of this whatsoever. Kind of makes it difficult to report a story when you can't back anything up. And this is what I think a lot of people forgot. I can tell you that personally, I made some calls, called Foxwoods. Didn't get anybody. Tried to reach out to Jay, got nothing. And over the weekend, all of a sudden, poker journalists like Kevin Mathers, Jen Newell, Jess Wellman from the World Series of Poker, and many others were getting destroyed for not pushing the story harder. It has stirred up quite a controversy. And then making things more interesting was PokerFuse put out a story that said that they had obtained court records, but did not post them with the story, which then put PokerFuse in a little bit of a tough spot. I can tell you personally, I requested to see these records. They declined to send them to me. Can't say truth or false, but what I can say is that this has been a very difficult time for a lot of poker media getting banged around. I mean, these are people out here, like myself, a lot of people, independent writers, not getting a lot of money to do what they do. And it has been a strain on them as well. I can tell you very frankly, talking to quite a few different sources, Poker News, whomever, everybody really hesitated to push this because of the fact that we couldn't back it up. Maury, you being in the poker media, doing all these shows, your take on that situation in terms of how can you report a story like that and not cross the line and get yourself in trouble?
Well, I would hardly call myself expert in the media part of it, but I can pose some general questions that, when it comes to anything that's being shared with public. It sounds like the facts are not 100%. It doesn't sound like the facts. I mean, what is he exactly? What did Jedi got accused of? How much did he?
$700 is what they said. He took it from some dealer toke boxes apparently. So
and they create court records now for $700. I mean,
yeah. What had happened was Jay had put in for what the story said. The Facebook post said that Jay had put in for an accelerated rehabilitation, which means that when this got posted or when this happened, that basically Jay paid restitution, did whatever the court told him to do, and then his record gets expunged. So everything gets sealed, it's tucked away, it's gone. So there's no way to be able to go and look like, typically if you want to look somebody up online and see if they have a criminal record, it's pretty easy to do. Many times they'll that's all public information that's out there. So with that decision, as long as that is what happened, then obviously no one can look and see these records. So it makes it pretty tricky. And Katie Stone's on the line from the Grindettes. And Katie, of course, is a moderator on 2+2. So she gets to see a lot of the interesting happenings on 2+2. And Katie, I'm sure you've been following this story with Jay Newnham pretty tightly. What is going on 2+2, and what have you seen on there that's kind of catching your eye?
Yeah, it's a pretty tense situation. It's 2+2 tends to make these things into a life of its own, and there are a lot of intelligent people and there are a lot of not so intelligent people, and it creates a very interesting and very unique conversation that is unlike any other conversation about stories about poker anywhere else. The problem is that like your guest just mentioned, nobody really knows anything about what happened. I mean, or no concrete facts. I mean, whatever was found out was lifted from a Facebook post, and that's pretty much it. And so I don't think it's fair for anybody to really say and to really just 100% say that he did it or that he's guilty. There's got to be some other circumstances that we just don't know about, and but there's nothing you can do about 2 + 2 because, like I said, it just takes on a life of its own, and they're just gonna keep going with it until they find something.
Yeah, and it's very difficult, I would assume, as a moderator in 2 + 2. Now, I know you don't handle that section, but things kind of get a little bit out of hand there. And how do you, as a moderator on a very popular forum site like that, deal with all these things that have been getting said? I mean, there's some pretty nasty stuff on there.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, I guess, specifically for me because, all the people involved, I consider friends, and so and all the people that are being thrown into the conversation and being torn apart, I consider friends as well. And so I'm not a mod in NVG. I am thanking my lucky stars that I am not a mod in NVG. Anytime scandals like this erupt, most of the time they're in NVG. I've handled a couple over in MTTC over the past few years, and in the past year, I guess, a couple years, but it's a tough job being a moderator because you really have to just look at the posts and try to understand what the intention is, and sometimes you have to do something that may go against or may hurt somebody that and it's a daily struggle, and I really feel for the MVG mods anytime there's a scandal, especially one like this that involves so many people that so many people know and are friends with.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about the poker community is how closely it's tied together. But at times, unfortunately, when you're tied that closely together, when someone steps outside of the boundaries, you have a lot of issues to deal with, and it gets beyond being just a professional relationship, but a personal one too. So it's always hard to handle something like this.
Yeah, and you're dealing with people who are not professionals in journalism. And don't have literary degrees or anything like that. These are the general population. So it makes it just compounds the difficulty of the situation.
Yeah. So,
you just have to use your best judgment, and that's really all you can do. A lot of times, like when I have situations that I'm not too sure about, I'll ask one of my super smart poker player lawyer friends because I know their brains just work right. And if I have trouble deciding, is this really what's going on, or am I not analyzing the situation correctly? I'll go to Jamie Kerstetter or Leo Wolpert or, people like that and just and say, just tell me if I'm looking at this incorrectly or not. And it's definitely tricky. It's really, really tricky.
It is. Well, Katie, we're going to continue the discussion here, but I want to thank you for calling in. And, of course, the Grindettes kicking tail out there. Jen Shahade having that great rundown of PCA. Congratulations to her. And, of course, follow the Grindettes on Twitter at Grindettes, Facebook, the Grindettes, and Grindettes.com, the website. Thanks for calling in, Katie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. Talk to you later.
Okay, great. And, Maury, you had a point you wanted to hit on that.
Just curious. I'm sure this doesn't just apply for poker, and it's human nature. But why is it a negative story just lingers much longer than positive ones? I mean, you hear something good happens, you hear about it for maybe a couple of notes here and there, and it disappears. But as soon as something bad happens, and I don't know if it gets worse when it comes to the closed net poker community that you were talking about, we just don't let it go sometimes.
Yeah.
When something like this happens, everybody wants to have some sort of opinion on it.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I think it's kind of human nature that when you see somebody out there who maybe doing a little bit better than you, there's always that piece of jealousy inside. And I think that people, when they have a chance to pull somebody down a peg and maybe step on them a little bit and move up, they do it. And it's a sad statement on how we are as people sometimes, but it would be nice if we could celebrate a lot of the great things that happen, like they do at the World Series every year and on your broadcast, as opposed to
it's just
something
a shame.
like this.
It seems like way too many people are willing to throw rocks than throw flowers at something.
No doubt. Well, hey, we have a special call in here, by the way. Going to break away from this topic for just a second, but we are joined by a gentleman who's apparently trying to start a war between the states. This could get nasty here in Las Vegas. We are joined by Pete Manzanares, who is from Oklahoma. They're bringing in players from the Oklahoma Superstars Poker League to take on Joe Payne's gang from the Nevada Poker League here next month. It is going to be a fight. Pete, how are you?
I'm doing very good, Mark. Thank you for having me on the show today. It's going to get ugly, buddy.
Pete, now I hear you're calling Joe Payne out. What's going on here?
Not only Joe, his wife Sissy. We've got some of the toughest poker players in bar poker right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they've been working for points. And we've got 20 players coming in to destroy the Nevada Poker League in the first week of February.
Wow, destroy was the word. Oh my goodness, Sassy, what are you gonna?
I want to find out how it started. How did it get started?
It got started where we were giving away 20 trips for our top point leaders, and then I went into Las Vegas on a personal trip, and I found Sissy with the Nevada Poker League, and I gave her a call and said, hey, listen, would you like to have some competition? And we'd been talking over the last couple months, and they've been earning their points, and I think they're bringing their top 20. They don't have a chance. But not only are we going to destroy them, we're going to disintegrate them after we destroy them. So that's what we're coming to do, and then we're going to come back and feed our cattle.
Oh my word! Oh my God!
Wow.
We're going Soylent Green on this thing. You got to be kidding me. Well, just so you know how this is working out. The Oklahoma Superstars is going to be bringing their top 20 players to Las Vegas. MPL is going to be putting up their top 20 players, and you can get involved in this if you're out here in Las Vegas. If you end up in their top 20 players for the first 4 weeks of the season that started January 6th, so there's plenty of time. If you want to stand up for Las Vegas in the NPL and avoid being disintegrated, or at least help them not being disintegrated, I didn't know there was laser beams and all this kind of stuff going on. I'm scared now. I'd love to get in the top 20 and take them on, but I'm afraid I'm going to get fed to Oklahoma cattle, so I might have to pass. But this is going to be very, very exciting, Pete.
That's good, and we can't wait to get out there. We've got 20 players that have already qualified. We're ready to fly out there on February 4th. Sissy's got it all taken care of. She's a wonderful person. We've been in contact with her a number of times with her husband, Joe, and you can't find two better people in this industry.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great time. And, actually, I think one of the MPL players, well, we're dragging this one out. The MPL has somebody calling in, I believe.
Okay.
It's Joe. It's Joe. Joe Payne in the Nevada Poker League is calling in here. Joe, did you hear that? You're going to be cattle food.
Am I on the air right now?
You are on the air with Pete.
Okay. Here's two things. Hey, Pete, here's two things I want to tell you. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Officer and a Gentleman. There's two things that come out of Oklahoma. People with steers on and queers.
Oh,
You
no.
know what? And I've seen some pictures, buddy, and I didn't see no horns on your head. You ain't annihilating anyone, buddy.
Oh.
All right, Joe, it's on, buddy. I can't wait. We got 20 of our top players, buddy, and you're in big trouble.
Well, 20 of your top players. I might only just bring 10 just to level the playing field out.
Oh, I
Against
see.
my
I
10.
see. That's going to be.
If you guys...
You know what? I'm going to do... Hey, Mark, Pete, I'm going to do my talking, and my players are going to do their talking on the table. It's real cheap. I didn't even know they had phones in Oklahoma. Are you at some sort of crank box at some farm destination or something? You know what? Pete, when you first of all, you'll be dazzled when you come to Las Vegas because you're going to see how real people live. You're going to be so dazzled when you get back on the. Are you coming out by cow or plane, Pete?
Oh.
Coming out by plane, and trust me, I'll buy you a free drink when we're in Vegas.
Oh yeah, free another high roller buying me a free drink in the casino. Very good, Pete. Hey, listen, I don't want to take up your time, but you're not annihilating anyone, and see if you can get some horns before you come out to Las Vegas.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so get into this fun with the Nevada Poker League, taking on the Oklahoma Superstars Poker League. You can still qualify, plenty of time, so get in there and see if you can get in the middle of this. And
still got Pete on too.
There's carnage. I've got another player on. Okay.
Pete's still on too.
Oh, Pete's still on too?
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right. Well, Pete, thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck. It should be a great time no matter how bad this trash talking's getting.
Thank you, man. And I'm honored to be on your show, brother.
Thank you
very much.
You got it. Have a great time and have a safe trip out here. All right. Wow. Maury, I think we have a TV show there.
Now, what is exactly the structure here? When the 20 players come 20, they play heads up, they play round robin. What do they do?
I have no idea, but we're going to find out. I'm supposed to be doing a broadcast from there, but Maury, maybe we should work this out.
If all 40 actually play the tournament, I'd like to bet on Nevada finishing 1 through 8.
There you go.
1 to 8.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, we have to get to a commercial break, and we come back. Marco is now in studio. So, and of course, we're going to be talking more with Maury about the future of televised poker here. Should be exciting. Thanks for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. We appreciate it.
PokerAtlas.com has its finger on the pulse of all poker events in Las Vegas and beyond. Both on and offline. PokerAtlas.com is made by poker players for poker players and covers North America for every tournament, every day. Join the action by reading and posting your own reviews on PokerAtlas.com. Let everyone know what you really think about poker rooms you visited. PokerAtlas.com also features special offers and online sign-up bonuses for its members as well. Don't forget to like Poker Atlas on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Poker Atlas. PokerAtlas.com also has Twitter accounts for up-to-the-minute information about tournaments in your area. The action starts here at PokerAtlas.com.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code Mark Hoke Show when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
It's time for you to check out RogueWire.com. News, sports, entertainment, and the internet home of The Mark Hoke Show. Don't wait. Let the sparks fly from your computer at RogueWire.com. And of course, RogueWire.com is powered by BlueRail.net. For over 2 years, The Mark Hoke Show has trusted BlueRail.net as their exclusive host, and you can too. Visit BlueRail.net for top-level web hosting, website building and maintenance, one-on-one customer service, and much more. It's time to get on board with your winning combination. BlueRail.net and RogueWire.com. How far do you want to go? Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double-Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel apparel.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And Marco Valerio has joined us in studio. Marco, glad to have you here, my friend.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I apologize to Mark. Let me just adjust the microphone here.
Oh, don't apologize.
I apologize to the host. I apologize to my co-panelists. Sounds like you had a great show. I walked in that you were...
well, it's not over.
Well, a great show so far. I walked in that there was a war going on. People were talking about, seceding, and
yeah,
it sounded pretty terrible. I didn't know that poker could do this to us.
I know, it's amazing.
But I heard your, impassioned invective, your plea to the poker community to be, better people or something like that.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah.
By the way, Marco causes me so many problems. And he doesn't try it, because anytime I introduce myself in the poker community and somebody hasn't met me yet, like, oh, Marco. No, because my name is Mark Hoke, and when you run it together, it sounds like Marco. So oh, we're talking to Mark. Oh, this is Marco. Like, no.
That goes two ways, by the way. A lot of people just think I'm Mark Hoke when I tell them my name is Marco.
I don't believe that for 1 second, but thank you.
Sure.
Well, we have Maury Escandani in here, and of course, Maury handling of the duties of bringing us the World Series of Poker and so many other great TV shows like Poker After Dark, High Stakes Poker over the years. And Maury, it's a very interesting time for poker with just starting to get online rolling again. The Black Friday is hopefully behind us now. When do we start seeing more televised poker coming back? What's going on?
Well, televised poker is going to come back with the legislations. I mean, we all know the main reason. We all know the main reason for television. What happened for poker on TV in the past, where all the sponsors and all the basically the communities that were interested in it all over the states or abroad. So international is still there, and many of the shows, there are new shows international, I understand, that I'm not obviously much involved. But in U.S., I think we'll see the big move after a few states join in, Nevada and New Jersey and Delaware. Specifically, if California joins in, New York joins in. If big states join in, then the sponsors are going to be anxious to have poker shows basically to promote their brands.
And I think one thing that's going to be very interesting is to see what kind of programming is going to be presented. Because one thing that I think that, we were talking about this before the show started, that you have to be able to reach the casual fan or the person that you're trying to bring into the game, as opposed to bringing in that person who's already been here, who's the expert and knows everything. And broadcasting poker, you got to be careful to not cross that line, and we've got to get those new people involved, as opposed to tailoring these broadcasts to people that already know the game well.
Well, poker is still, comparing to many of the other sports out there, still is in infancy. If you and when new sports or new competition like poker comes to life, it seems to be driven by the players first, and then instead of the fan. So many decisions, I think, is made in baseball or football or soccer is made because what the fan demands. If it is slow, if it's boring, then they come in and try to adjust so it is basically pleasing the fan, making it more interesting for them. Poker is not exactly there yet, and although we have what I'm trying to say, most of the decisions, most of the creativity for poker is coming from the players, and it's time for all of us to listen more and more to the general audience, listen to our experts in the media, in the networks, telling us that, hey, whatever you do with these shows, make sure it's appealing to the general public. Look, if you listen to what is going on out there with the players, I'm talking about the pros' opinion. If it was up to them, it would have been even more difficult for viewers to understand poker. Games like Badusi and Badugi and all that will be on TV. It's not. It's completely the opposite. People really do think that what we have out there right now is geared for the general public, and I think we still have ways to go. We still have to make it simpler. We still have to make it so people understand how the game scores. You can go into, compared to any sports out there, it's simple for you to explain to somebody how scoring happens in basketball, in baseball, in football. It's not that difficult. But in poker, go ahead, explain to me how scoring happens in Texas Hold'em. And it's something that all of us have to collectively get behind the game and make it so most people that watch the game understand the basics of it. I have some ideas. I know that every time we go that direction, we are risking of alienating the poker experts, basically saying, no, this is not exactly what I want to watch. I want it to be more difficult. But there is a sweet spot out there that we're all trying to reach.
So can't you do both?
Well,
can you put different programming together that maybe is going to be more fun and goofy for the newbie, and then have programming available?
He wants a job, Maury, is what he's
saying. Well, duh.
I actually
get in line, Marco.
I've actually thrown some ideas out there. I don't know, maybe it'll come to life. I was thinking, like, just let's narrow the whole deck down to only 13 cards. And make that so the scoring is very simple. Deuce being, deuce being the worst hand, ace being the best hand, and we all get one card. And now let's play poker with that kind of a simplistic approach in some sort of a game show. Obviously, it won't be a poker that we all interested in, but just explain what check is, check raise is. What, we all think everybody knows that. They just don't. And the more we educate the public out there, the simpler we make the game. Look, in my opinion, we just jumped into the algebra, and we never gave our audience the basic 2 + 2. We just jumped into the algebra. So that's where we are right now. So biggest challenge, let's teach Hold'em as much as we can.
Well, at least the Heads Up is back. And that'll be returning again soon. So what news do we have on the Heads Up?
Well, Heads Up is such a well-rounded show and is supported by the network. I think the future is definitely bright for Heads Up. I don't think the show is going anywhere. Details are always being worked with the venues and the sponsors and the network for it to come back. That we're working on some details right now for 2014, and I'm hoping that it will be announced soon. But the show itself, once you have shows that are that have networks like NBC behind it. Those shows will remain hopefully for a long, long time.
Tell me you weren't in heaven when you saw Mattisau and Helmuth end up in the final. You had to be absolutely going crazy there.
It was fun. Obviously, that part of poker is always fun.
All right. Hey, we have a caller real quick. We got some other things we have to get done, but we have Donna on the line. Donna, welcome to the Mark Hoke Show.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hey, what can I do for you today?
I just wanted to give a shout out. You got all my favorite people on there.
Aw, thanks,
Oh,
Donna.
yeah.
Marco.
Well, thank you.
Hello, Donna. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm a little hungover, to be honest with you. But,
Marco.
But other than that, I feel good. I've got a very tall cup of coffee here that I'm sipping from, and it's restoring life to me. So
there we go.
I might actually get a word in a few minutes if this keeps up.
We will, absolutely. Well, hey, Donna, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
All right, take care, everybody.
You got
Bye,
it.
Donna. Have a good day, honey.
I love how you answer the phone like a concierge, Mark. Hello, Donna. What may I do for you today?
You know what?
Oh, maybe have assistance.
That's 20 years of customer service. What can I say?
Exactly.
Marco, you wanted to get a word in edgewise, right? Are
yeah.
you? Because I hope you're ready, because it is time for the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day.
Okay.
So,
oh, good.
Speaking of those game
I'm for
shows,
that, yeah.
It's time for the Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day.
Maury set me up and didn't even know it.
How did I do that?
He started talking about game shows, and of course, poker is televised poker is kind of a game show thing going on. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to test everybody's knowledge about past game shows.
Uh-oh.
This should be fun. Of course, this segment brought to you by Arctic Blue Cooling Towels. Make sure you go to arcticblu.com. Get your cooling towel today, 15% off plus free shipping with the code Mark Hoke Show. All right, so we will take turns asking you guys questions. Whoever gets the most right wins. Sassy, are you ready?
I don't know. We'll see.
You're in the leadoff
Family
spot.
Feud's the only one I really know. So.
Don't worry, I have no chance.
So
you're in good company.
If she gets it wrong, we'll go to the next person, and we'll keep going until somebody gets the question right. So here we go. Are you really scared about this?
No.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll start with this one. Little red money stealing jerks, flashing lights, and big bucks swept the nation on this Peter Tamarkin game show.
No clue.
Oh my God!
This what show?
This game show. Little green money stealing jerks, flashing lights, and big bucks. Swept the nation. It goes to Maury. Maury, you got a shot at this one. Remember those little red guys doing dances on the screen, taking money from people?
I know the answer.
No,
I don't know.
Oh, we got to buzz Maury. Marco, come on, you got it.
Stone Cops.
What? No, Alan, do you want to steal this?
I sorry, again. That was the whammies, man. Pressure luck.
Pressure luck. Yeah. There you go. Oh. I'm stunned. All right. Well, let's go to Maury. Making Whoopee and Wrecking Marriages was the name of the game on this show, hosted by Bob Eubanks.
Wrecking Marriages.
I know this one too,
I
by
know
the way.
this one too.
Making Whoopee. That was the big thing on there, because you couldn't say, well.
Yeah.
Come on, Maury, you know this.
Come on, Maury, you got to pull this one.
You do.
I don't.
Oh, I got a buzz. Okay, Marco, chance to steal on this.
It's the Newlywed Game.
It is the Newlywed Game. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, Maury.
That's all right.
I keep grilling Maury. Maury, come on!
Newlywed.
Right.
I mean,
What you doing to me, Maury?
Marco.
It'd be funny if the next one you ask, the answer is Poker After Dark, and Maury doesn't know that either.
Marco, you actually watched Newlywed game
No,
show?
but I'm familiar with that whoopee thing.
Yeah, the whoopee thing.
Yeah, making
that's
whoopee.
how I
The
know
whoopee
it, too.
thing is as an iconic television moment.
All right, Marco. This show, which was caught in the game show scandals of the 1950s, had a top prize of $64,000.
This could you please repeat?
Sure. This show, which was caught in the game show scandals of the 1950s, had a top prize of $64,000.
Oh boy. Oh man. I'm gonna go 1950s. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Incorrect.
Is it
Sassy.
the pyramid game? Something like that? No.
No, Maury.
Wait a second. You're saying that the top prize of $64?
$64,000 was the top prize.
Clue, yeah.
You're not talking about Groucho or no? What?
I
No.
thought Groucho too.
No? Oh, you guys are going to die when you hear this answer.
Wasn't it the $64,000 question?
Yes, it was. It was the $64,000 question.
Alan's rocking it.
Oh, unbelievable.
I don't even watch these programs.
Oh, I kind of laid that one up for everybody, but didn't go. All right. Sassy.
Oh, back to me. Okay.
This legendary game show was parodied in song by Weird Al Yankovic.
I don't know.
No? Maury?
Marco, take it down.
No.
Take it down.
Marco?
This what game show?
This legendary game show was parodied in song by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, man.
You know Weird Al.
I know some of
Weird
his
Al
tunes,
is.
too. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, crap. It's not the weakest link, is it?
No. You are the weakest
Go
link.
ahead,
Goodbye.
Alan. Take it over, Alan.
All right, man.
I lost on
Our
Jeopardy.
baby.
Yeah, Jeopardy would have been the answer to that question. Boy, you guys are. I thought these were going to be fairly easy. I have.
Well, I have a point about television when we're done with this, by the way. Maybe
Fair
we'll tie it in nicely to this embarrassment here you're
Yes.
subjecting us to.
Okay, Maury, you got to get this one.
Family Feud.
This no.
That's the one I know.
This is better. This was the phrase everyone wanted to hear when they were in the studio audience on The Price is Right.
Come on down.
Yes. Hey, there we go.
What did I win?
Nothing. Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I would have thought it was just The Price is Right.
Yeah. Come on down.
Come on down.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I have the heart to do this to Marco. Yeah, I do. This show was a national phenomenon in the 1970s as people tried to roll their big balls and strike for cash.
Roll their big balls.
And strike for cash.
Strike for cash. Okay. Big hit in the 70s, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Late Night with David Letterman.
No. Sassy.
Okay, I was just a child in the 70s, so I don't know.
So was I. I watched this show, though.
Wait a second. You said game show, right?
Yeah.
So how's Late Night with David Letterman? That wasn't a game show, was it?
He's on drugs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Have your coffee. You got me. Okay.
Do you remember this one, Maury? This was televised. They had so many different versions of this depending on the local market, but it was all the same concept. And they were rolling big balls to strike for cash.
Like cocaine balls? Like an 8-ball?
I will just hold off on that.
By the way, I think I'm the only one on the panel who wasn't even born in the 70s.
I don't know.
No. Bowling for dollars.
Yes.
Remember Bowling for Dollars?
Bowling for
Man,
I
that's
thought you
not the
meant
duck
bowling,
pins
but
and
that wasn't a game show.
Bowling
so-
for Dollars.
Here's one for you, Mark. Do you remember who the national host of that show was?
I do not.
Came from Columbus, Ohio. Mr. Dick Shore was
Dick
the name.
Shore.
Dick
There
Shore.
you go.
Oh, he's like your Paul. From
He's all right.
He
He's
sounds
all right.
like him, too. That's right. Have you got a keyboard, sir?
I can get one.
Okay.
I can't play it, but I can get it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What did we end up with here? How bad was this, Alan?
Sassy.
Zero.
Big goose egg.
Oh, no.
So we got to have one more question for Murray and Marco.
Okay,
here.
Maury, I'm going to give you a
Sudden
chance to
death.
win the game here.
Oh, you mean
Here
you're
you go.
tied?
Yeah, you tied.
That's the
All right,
first
here you
time
go.
I've been tied with
Here,
you. That's so
here we
exciting.
go. Maury, he went from Hogan's Heroes to the same one on the Match Game to kissing every woman in America as host of Family Feud. That was...
This is rigged. Mr. Dawson.
What's his first name?
Richard.
There you go. Maury, you're the big winner.
What do you
Congratulations.
mean?
Really,
I'm
you
supposed to
give me
get a
time.
turn.
He's got
I
to
don't
get
have
the
time for another turn. I
Too
jammed it up.
bad. Okay,
This is-
Marco.
this is
Life
extremely
not
biased
fair.
against-
You're late.
Yes,
You don't
because
count. You're
yeah,
late.
you did. That was a fail there. All right.
God.
So there you go. There's your Arctic Blue Keep Your Cool game of the day. And now, hey, we got our table talk segment real quick, and then we'll go to commercial. We'll be right back here to. And now we'd like to debut our newest
Wrap it
segment
up.
on the show, Table Talk, with WSOP bracelet winner John Freeberg, brought to you by PokerAtlas.com. In Table Talk, we'll be answering questions you post on the Poker Atlas Facebook page every week to Ask John. So make sure to post your question today, and if we like it, we'll use it on the air. John, the World Series of Poker is only about 4 months away, and it's not too early to start discussing about what you need to do to get ready to play in the WSOP. What are your thoughts on preparing for the World Series of Poker?
I always found that it's important to focus on what I call the 3 S's, especially in advance of the World Series. The first S is stamina. It's really important to go in well rested, properly nourished, exercise as much as you can, because there's nothing worse than nearing level, 8, and it's after dinner and approaching midnight, and you're starting to get tired and lazy and impatient. The second one is strategy. Always go in with a plan of attack. Know what event you're going to play. If you want to get there in time so you don't feel rushed and under pressure and maybe starting late with a shorter stack, always have a good strategy in place. And last is your skills, right? You always want to go in and play a World Series event or any of the other great events that go on in Vegas during the World Series, really with the sharpest skills. So I always recommend to players to play a lot of hands in advance, play some tournaments at your local poker room, maybe play online if you live in Las Vegas or New Jersey, but go in with great stamina, an excellent strategy, and sharp skills.
Thanks, John. And there you have it, our first edition of Table Talk. And if you want the most convenient and up-to-date information about poker tournaments in North America, poker room reviews, and the best U.S. online poker room sign-up offers available, visit Poker Atlas today at www.pokeratlas.com.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
It's time for you to check out RogueWire.com. News, sports, entertainment, and the internet home of The Mark Hoke Show. Don't wait. Let the sparks fly from your computer at RogueWire.com. And of course, RogueWire.com is powered by BlueRail.net. For over 2 years, The Mark Hoke Show has trusted BlueRail.net as their exclusive host, and you can too. Visit BlueRail.net for top-level web hosting, website building and maintenance, one-on-one customer service, and much more. It's time to get on board with your winning combination. BlueRail.net and RogueWire.com. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
PokerAtlas.com has its finger on the pulse of all poker events in Las Vegas and beyond. Both on and offline. PokerAtlas.com is made by poker players for poker players and covers North America for every tournament, every day. Join the action by reading and posting your own reviews on PokerAtlas.com. Let everyone know what you really think about poker rooms you visited. PokerAtlas.com also features special offers and online sign-up bonuses for its members as well. Don't forget to like Poker Atlas on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Poker Atlas. PokerAtlas.com also has Twitter accounts for up-to-the-minute information about tournaments in your area. The action starts here at PokerAtlas.com. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Sassy Richie, Maury Escandani, and Marco Valerio in studio with us. We are having one hell of a show. God, I wish this show was about 4 hours long.
We'd be ripping it, man.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Marco, of course, you've been in the poker media for a long time and kind of in the same classification with a lot of us. Real quick, give us your thoughts about the reaction that the media has taken for this whole thing with Jay Noonan.
You know, Mark, I know Who Jedi. I work with Who Jedi. Who Jedi was my friend. Senator, you're no Who Jedi.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Arcane political references aside.
That was all right. I got it.
I've been wanting to get that out there. It's heartbreaking. I do know Jay. I've always liked Jay. It's hard to stop liking Jay, even when you hear about something like this. You can definitely, obviously hold it against him. Obviously, what I'm saying is that Jay has been so nice to so many of us in the poker media for such a long time. He's always been helpful. He was especially helpful to me when I first started, and I can't say that about everyone.
Right.
In fact, we both worked in this similar poker media environment. Many people can be very territorial, protective of their own little, cliques and circles and identities within the poker media, which can be a very challenging place to be and work in. And Jay was always very wonderful. So what he's been accused of doing, and it seems now like he's done it, definitely, I think, tarnishes his reputation. And he will have to work on making amends to, I think, the people whom he's affected, the people whose faith and trust he's probably lost a considerable deal of.
Yeah,
so that's my position. I cannot forget about the guy who was so nice and helpful to so many of us, and I believe sincerely so. This part, this criminal part of Jay, which is completely new to me and to so many other people, it cannot be ignored. It has to be acknowledged, and I hope it's something that he is able to deal with and overcome in a manner that's positive for as many people as possible. That's my position.
Yeah, let's hope so too. And now you were talking about Maury's point about the upcoming television programming, and I'm curious to throw that out there again, because that was a very interesting topic you mentioned.
Yeah, and I can't get into it in such detail again because we don't have a lot of time. But when I was listening to Maury start talking, it makes me think, is this already such a, irrespective of poker, is this already such a very different television environment, multimedia environment? I'm talking about 2014 than it was in, say, the first decade of the 2000s, which is where I think I'd say many of us would say poker television at its heyday. Television consumption, the widespread, we're talking about the general public. The general public does not consume television the same way today that they did 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. You look at the explosion of tablet and mobile devices and consumption of visual content on those devices, including TV programs. So, you look at streaming programs online, you look at the second screen experience, which everyone talks about, social media. All of these things weren't even as big as they are today on Black Friday, when I would say, I think Maury agrees, television, poker on television took a hit. So what's going to happen now?
Yeah, so it makes it, Maury, just real quick, I mean, by about 30 seconds.
I think many players, just to talk about them, they get excited to be on TV. They're not going to say, hey, look, come watch me, I'm going to be on the internet. It's important. I'm glad it's out there. More and more poker out there, the more it's teaching the general public. But I think TV is still the biggest draw for our industry.
After the Mark Hoke Show.
Well, that is so sweet of you, Marco. I appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
I want to thank all of our guests. I'll tell you what, great group, and we had a ball today. Sassy, Richie, Maury, thanks for joining us. Marco, thanks for getting here when you did. Slam down that coffee. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be always fun doing this show, and can't wait till next week. By the way, I counted off 395 shows I've done. We're getting close to number 400, baby. What are we going to do? That's going to be a hoot. So, but
just
make
quit
sure
while you're ahead.
No, but hey, we'll be back next week on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, join us Sunday on RogueWire. We're going to have Poker Fuse's Mike Gentile on, so it's going to be an interesting Sunday afternoon show. So thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Ciao.